say there wasn't a Kay Graham working at Paramount during my time. The responsibility of an editor is first and foremost to allow their journalists to report and tell meaningful stories. As I just said, I was fortunate to work with legends like Mike and Morley, Ed and Andy, Leslie, Anderson Cooper, Bill Whitaker, and my dear friend Scott Pelly, who I'm going to spend a minute on because without Scott, I wouldn't be here. We were partners for a long time, first covering the White House, then as a team, producing stories for 60 Minutes. We've covered wars, natural disasters, genocides, interviewed presidents and prodigies. Scott's an editor's dream. A quick anecdote. When Russia began its unprovoked war on Ukraine, Scott was out the door like a shot. He and his team spent hours on the road navigating neighboring countries to reach Kyiv. As an editor, I always felt confident when I sent teams into dangerous situations because I had been in the suit myself, oftentimes with Scott. An editor should know what it's like to cover conflict or a beat, to be out in the field. That experience matters. So I would check in with Scott a couple of times a day. Now remember, this was the very beginning of the invasion, and there were early reports of a massacre outside of Kyiv in a town called Bucha. The Russians had killed civilians, murdered them really, on their way out of town. Scott wanted to go. I didn't think it was prudent. He and his team had already gathered their elements in Kyiv and had more than enough for that weekend's report. Scott listened to me, agreed with all my reasoning around security. He hung up, and he went right to Bucha. He went with a small footprint, listened to our security team of former British Special Forces. He hadn't, however, listened to me. It's some editor's dream. But I'm happy to have been so summarily dismissed, because Scott was right. He needed to see what had happened in order to inform our audience. He did, and I couldn't be more proud of the work he has done in Ukraine, he and his team, the work that he has done in holding the Trump administration accountable for the foundational changes to the government, his work around election integrity. Scott holds the First Amendment dear and isn't afraid to fight for it. We are in a fist fight, my friends. I've seen it up close. That's why this award is so important. The National Press Foundation stands firmly behind this kind of honest work and brave journalism. Since 1975, they've supported the work of everyone in this room in one way or another. Their mission, to make good journalists better, is an important one. We can all be better. Last October, a Gallup poll said only 28% of Americans trust our work. That's not good for democracy. In fact, it allows unscrupulous actors to say and do things without fear of being fact-checked. It seems lies and corruption, grift and broken promises don't really register the way they used to. I'm very proud of my time at 60 Minutes, of the stories we investigated, the news that we broke, the stories that helped people understand what was happening in the world. I'm proud of the people I hired, Cecilia Vega, Sharon Alfonsi, John Wertheim. I'm proud of the young people I helped train, showing them how relentless reporting can get turned into a story. No cliches, no shortcuts. Don Hewitt used to say, when you have a great character, get the hell out of the way, kid. Let them tell their own story. It was a gift to be able to share that wisdom, and Jeff Fager, the EP who followed Don. If I have a legacy, it's all those smart, hard-working young people that I hired. We all helped to raise them right. So again, I thank the National Press Foundation. I applaud all the journalists in the room tonight. Keep your guard up. You're defending the truth and the First Amendment, and we're still in the early rounds of a fight that's going to be talked about for ages. Thank you very much.